sorting and organizing and such. And of course I find things when I sort and organize. For example, here, oh, it's never been opened. Let me just see if this one's been opened. No, never been opened. So what we have here are JobMate drill and screwdriver bit set. So lots of things. Some of them might even be handy. Actually, one of them might have been handy. I was just looking for a Robertson. But you know what? I don't have the heart to open them at this moment. So, you know how I emptied this toolbox? Maybe it will fit inside. And I can see about them later. Because we, of course, are living, oh yes, tape. Tape is always a good thing. We are living in the world of Commodore. And, if I thought about it, I might have put these on. It's funny, when I was on the movie thing, I had suspenders as part of my costume, and they caused me nothing but grief because the little clips, they clipped, but they wouldn't stay. And of course, for continuity, you want to have things always the same. So that was always a struggle. But what are we doing in the world of Commodore today? Well, a fine, fine question. First of all, let's get some power. I'm very careful to turn things off so power supplies are not sitting cooking. I am. Oh. Let's see now. Do we have a monitor that's going to come up and come alive? Oh, I forgot. I think you gotta press the power button twice on this thing. Ta, there it comes. Alright, so what do we have today? Well, we have some discs here. What is in here? Oh, that's the disc that had some of the games that I was tinkering on. And my blank disc that I've written in black on, blank disc. And that is good because, of course, what are we doing? Well, I've got to... things always have a way of getting full here. Here we have a small 64C board. It's beautiful. Although I hate the Super PLA. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. If they had it in a socket, that would be one thing, but they're never in a socket that I've seen. I know. Money, savings, cost savings. Yeah. Heard it before. Hate it. I'm going to tuck that. Or am I? No, I'm not. Okay, I need to move a couple things here. This thing must be handled delicately and with great care, for it works. And yes, oh no, that's not good. It has a good, is that a good spot? That's a good spot. Okay, so, right, so we're going to get a 64. This is the one I was tinkering on that has no sound. But for what we're going to do today, we don't need sound. We need video. And we will hook up. There we are. We certainly don't need the volume way up there, because it's just going to squeal. And this disk drive does not need to be on. What we need is a serial cable, which of course you should never plug in unless the machine is turned off. What am I doing here? That is a serial cable. Come on, you. What are you doing? Why? Okay, serial cable in. Now, there we have a couple of them here plugged in. Those cables, they get wrapped around. Alright, so there we have a serial cable. Ooh. And what I might need. Oh, because of course, what do I have? A 1541's disk drive. Do I have a regular power cable right here? I thought I did. Oh. Looky. Behind me. I do. And it's funny, you know. Oh, come on, you. Things get tangled. I've seen people advertising these drives and they say, you know, untested, don't have power supply. And I often will write to them and say, you know, the power supply is inside and it just takes a regular cord. As regular could be. And they still usually write back and say, I don't know. Okay, so the first thing we will do, make sure the drive is off, plug in the power cable, and turn it on. This could be very quick if, look at that. It seems to be reacting in a favorable way. So, we will install a serial cable. And we will just try, we'll try and load a directory. Of course there is no directory. Good. Because there's nothing in there. But what will we do? We will take out the 1541 test demo disk and we will put it in. So now we know the drive does respond to a command, even though there's nothing there for it to do. So it says it is loading. I did not see any vast troubles in terms of it loading. It did not spin and flash the light, so I have just moved. Oh, maybe I can do this better. I have moved up into the directory and I have typed in load and zipped across and put it a .8 and wiped out everything else so that I can load the performance test. Because that's what we do. Is the performance test the bestest thing in the world? Does it tell everything? Well, no, but it does pretty well. It formats, it reads, it writes, it does all kinds of things. So, now, when you type in run over the ready thing, it really turns into rundy. And of course, you get an undefined statement error because there is no such line as rundy. I wonder if I said dy. Oh, hang on. Let me list for a moment. Okay. So if I said dy equals 1000, and I went up to did the rundy thing, would it do it? No. What if I wipe out that period? Dy. Oh no, I see. It's not going to do that. Well, because when you run, it wipes out all the variables. No. Is there any way around that? I guess what I can do is just go up and wipe out that. Haha, and away we go. if I'd said go to instead of run, D, Y, maybe it would have worked. Alright, we'll press return. Sounds powerful on the headbang. And we will let it do its magic. Now it's funny, I was looking over here, I thought, oh yeah, here's my little envelope, not envelope, little thing with discs. Another 1541 test demo disc is there. Proudly displayed in the Commodore disc jacket. Woohoo. This thing, I like it, but it's how would you say? It's kind of stiff. It is. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I've been using this. Oh, I know what I have to do. Somebody asked me. I think it was if the blackjack game was in basic. I should check that. This is another blank disc. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put this in here. Oh, maybe I should be putting them over here. So that when it tries to close, look at that. Okay, so we have passed the mechanical test. That's encouraging. So this 1541 is a recent acquisition. It's kind of dirty. A magic eraser will make it look much better. Never perfect, but better. It doesn't look like it has tremendous yellowing issues. But it's seen, you know, life. It has. So it is now writing a data file. And that's what they do, you know, these test things. They write things, they read things. They move the head around. And in the end, probably going to end up with another working 1541. This one, it was out in the car. So, oh, it's doing things. I did make sure that when I brought it in, I let it sit for a couple of hours or so it could attain room temperature and not be frozen cold. Although it's not, I mean, it's cold here, but it's not beastly cold. We are getting into winter. Alright, so it is reading, writing, scratching. It has scratched a file. Now it's going to do the magic thing of moving the head back and forth, back and forth. And this unit has passed the performance test. Lovely. Lovely. I'm going to turn it off for a moment. And perhaps unplug it. Let's see here. I'm going to look at the bottom. Let's see if there's any telltale signs about what size board it might have. And of course, there is not. There's a red dot. I don't know why there's a red dot. It says something. Otherwise, it has the usual Commodore stickage. This one. Excuse me. Made in Japan. The number, the secret number on this little red thing, which I don't know why it's here, is 2316. No clue. Shock hazard, do not open. Huh? Yeah, right. For continued protection against fire, replace only with the same type of fuse. Ratings of 250 volts, 1 amp. Cool. Well, just because I'm curious, see, I know when turning this on, it does not have the shortest board available. It does not, because, ooh, that didn't go well. The shortest board available, it spun. Oh, this may not go well. Or maybe this screwdriver. Oh, no, that one's going. The shortest board spins the drive when you turn it on and bangs the head. There's a screw. Now this one, I need to exert tremendous force. Okay. And why am I looking inside? Well, there could be bugs. Another 1541 I opened recently. It didn't have bugs, but it was sure dusty. But I'm just curious. Anyway, opening one is not difficult. It takes a Phillips screwdriver. Sometimes tremendous force, because of course these screws have been in place for perhaps, well, not quite 40 years. And who knows the last time they had a screwdriver stuck on them. Who knows? Maybe never. Maybe just at the factory. Because as much as I really don't like the 1541, they do seem to work at their slow speed. Keep waiting for the screw to come out. It's not coming out. Okay, I think I have it loose. I really don't want to drop it. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. So, that screw is in. There we go. It is kind of stuck, but not seriously stuck. Oh yeah, there's some dust. As there always seems to be. Anyway, it's good to have a peek, just see if there's anything that looks tremendously awful. And I don't see anything that looks tremendous. It's nice to know that many of the main chips are indeed in sockets. The UB2. There is some fluff. I do not wish to hurt any traces, but there is some fluff. My God. It's sticky fluff. UB2, which is HM616AP-20, is not socketed, but every other main chip, excuse me, is. That is handy to know and good to note on the notes that I put on the bottom of this drive. I'm just looking for anything at all that looks, you know, burned, scorched, misplaced, bent over, anything dangerous. But it looks okay. No, just checking out. All the screws are there. It's plugged in. It seems to work. So there's not much more to do with this, except put it back together. So, oh yes, the reason I opened this is to see what board is in here. And see, it's not the longest board. It's not the shortest board. It's in between. And it's funny because the longest board goes a lot longer, about a third more than this. It does. But over the years, of course, they were able to economize and get more components to do more than one thing, or, you know, like there's an awful lot of space on this taken up by resistors and other such things. Of course, on an original big board, it's longer. Like, the reason the drive is as long as it is because the circuit board was that long. Alright. So, with great care, I will put this back on. I will get the screws. I will put them in. found its mark. They are not humongously long screws, but they're not really short either. Okay. That is good. Things are happening. At some point, I must gather all my drives together and do a picture. Much like was on the transactor long ago. And maybe if I'm lucky, see, the fellow who inspired and who got that picture done for the front of the transactor was Carl Hilland. So if I'm really lucky, maybe I can set up as best as I can. I can't do exactly as he did. Mind you, his was a drawing. So I can't do exactly like that, but I could do something pretty impressive. And maybe, if I was really lucky, I could get Carl... Okay, oh, hold on there. What happened? Oh no. One of the screws obviously did not fall in to the assigned hole. Anyway, if I'm lucky, maybe I can get Carl Hilland to pose. Of course, in the picture on the magazine, it was his back. Maybe I could get him to do his front, maybe. Or, you know, whatever. Maybe I could have him posing in the front ways, but with a copy of the transactor in front of him. Does not feel like it is going in. Yeah, that feels better. Okay. So, another... Hello. Let's double check. Don't want to reef on them too badly. But just enough. Alright. So, it is time to document 1541 works past test medium word. All but one major chip. Oh. Socketed. Another successful operation. Oh. Which, of course, needed not much of anything, just a little blast of electricity and a test run. Alright, so that went well. If they don't all go well, but that went well. So I think, for the moment, I might try... Oh, there's a 64 here. What does this say? Works. Not fully tested. Oh yeah, slow waking up. Oh yeah, this one. I suspect, perhaps, there might be capacitor issues. But I'm not sure. I ran a test on it and did seem the machine was resetting, so it needs some more looking into. But this, for the moment, is good. The desk is filling up, which I will, of course, work on getting sorted. so that I can do some more things. I'm thinking that probably there's some extra stuff here. I can put that in the toolbox. Thinking I probably have another drive or two to check. Maybe a monitor. I tested that. 1, 2. I tested the Commodore 64. Bad SID chip. I did. Anyway, the box room needs attention. There are way too many boxes. But I suppose if I got rid of the boxes, it wouldn't be the box room. But I do need to keep on keeping on and keep moving forward. So, thanks for being here for this 1541 testing. Didn't amount to a whole lot of anything. But it's good to know what you have because, you know, I know I'm going to be bringing a couple more drives in to have a look at. And if I do run into one or two that aren't working, it's good to know that most of those chips are socketed because it is not always the big chips that are the issue. But often it is. So it's good to be able to pop them out, swap them over, look at the symptoms, see what's what. It is. Alright, well, that's enough for now. I am going to keep on keeping on, as they say, as I said before, and keep on going through boxes and keep on organizing and sorting. And will I ever get finished? Well, probably not. But remember what Sid Bolton had on his t-shirt the last time I saw him? It was a blue t-shirt with white letters, I'm sure it was. And it said, "It's not hoarding if you're organized." So, I am trying to be rid of things, and I am trying to be organized. One box at a time. Anyway, thanks for coming. It's always appreciated. Comments are, oh, wait just a second.